I'm Joe, and this is my wife, Andy, and we're co-owners of HWE Stationery. I know it's been a while since our last product review. It had been a bit of a chaotic holiday season, to say the least, but I think we wanted to use this next review to go over one of our favorite product lines here at HWE, and most definitely the product line that made us decide to start our own stationery business. So Andy, did you want to talk about the three main products that, Bindewerk products rather, that we wanted to start with?
Yeah, so we're going to go through the new generation notebook, the contemporary notebook, and the Olivia, which is just three styles of Bindewerk, but they're the three styles that we think lend themselves to bullet journals best.
Absolutely. So without further ado, we'll get into the three different products.
So the first notebook we're going to talk about is the new generation. The new generation's a nice, simple notebook that I think really lends itself to bullet journaling well. They come in four main colors: this really pretty bright green, this really pretty shade of blue, a nice classic red, and a real nice bright orange. The colors can change depending on the lots. These are all handmade, and part of that process just means that there's going to be variations. So sometimes the blue, for example, is like this darker shade, sometimes it's a really light shade. It's just the nature of the product. But regardless, they're really nice. The outside of the notebook comes with some fun features. You get this pen holder on the spine, which is really subtle and can hold a pretty large pen. So it holds it right there without sticking out and being obnoxious, or you cannot use it and it just sits there pretty even. It has an elastic closure with these little notches built in, so you're not bending the covers, it's not leaving any marks. I just think it's a nice, thought out design. The back of the notebook has this nice big pocket. It's pretty sturdy, it's got fabric on the sides, it opens up pretty big for whatever you need to stick in there. The rest of the notebook is just a simple notebook. The pages are not pre-numbered, there's no table of contents, there's nothing in the front. Regardless, I like the notebook itself. It's handmade, it feels special. The pages are really pretty cream, and the dotted has these really light gray dots that don't stare out at you. So if you're going to do a lot of art, you're not going to notice them. The art and the writing's really what's going to stand out on the page and not the dots. The paper itself is 90 GSM and can hold up pretty well. We have the Sharpie art pens, and there's no bleed through on the side. There's a little ghosting, but I think it holds up really, really well. Same thing with the Papermate flares. The colors really pop on the page, and there's no bleed through. And I mean, a little ghosting, but I think that's just the nature of the flare. Even with your fountain pens, this paper really holds up fairly well. And I think that's about all we have with the new generation. They're just simple and pretty. I think because of the dots and everything else, they work well for bullet journals, but you can use it for a sketchbook or whatever else you have a notebook need for. The next one we're going to talk about looks very similar to the new gen. This is the contemporary. They all have pretty standard black cover. What makes these special is the spines. The spines come in four really pretty shades. This olive green, I think this is called jade, a blue, and then a red. So if you are the one you like to put your notebooks on a shelf, they look really pretty all stacked up in a row. They're the same that they have the pen holder on the spine, a simple elastic closure. Some of them have this really nice little label, so you can kind of label your notebook if you want to like number your journals or whatever. Inside, it's all the same features. You got the back pocket. This one does come lined, as this one is, or we do carry it in the dots with that really light gray dot. Other than that, you get the same quality paper. There are 192 sheets. So it's a nice small notebook if you're not writing a whole lot, or you have a project, or you just like to change your journals. Often that's me. I get bored after a few months and I want something new. That will last you a good amount of time before you're ready to move on. The last style of notebook that I want to talk about is the Olivia. So the Olivia on the outside looks very much like the New Gen or the Contemporary, in that they've got the elastic closure, they got the pen loop on the spine, and they're pretty simple. Where these stand out is they have these really fun, kind of retro-y looking covers, which I think really pop in a really nice way. You have this blue one that's called Bucharesti. You have the gray with the blue pinwheels, it's called Paris. And then this yellow and kind of green one is called London. And this is actually the notebook I'm currently using. So it's got this elastic closure, pen loop, and then the back pocket, there is no back pocket. It's just got a back, and then it has Bindewerk kind of stamped into the cover. Other than that, you've just got your pages. What I like, and I think you can see really well here, is with those really pale gray dots, whatever you're putting on the page is what pops more than anything else. This, like the Contemporary, comes in the dotted, or we have a set aligned. So if you're using it as a project notebook or a list notebook or just for writing, you do have that lined option, which is really nice. And those are, I think, our 3 top bullet journal choices from Bindewerk. So as you can see, we, although we only featured 3 lines of Bindewerk, we have a lot. We are slightly obsessed with this brand, and I think our obsession is only growing as we acquire new lines and styles.
That's for sure. We do kind of cross the gamut, if you will. So we have notebooks that are, just plain color, this being the traditional linen, a thicker notebook. It comes in a variety of colors. So these colors that kind of pop out. Then there's the more of your pastels. And
There's
then
not an ugly color in the bunch.
no, there really isn't.
They're
And
so
then
pretty.
for a smaller version of that, so this comes in a bit more of your kind of pointy edge there. This being the kind of the smaller version of that. They're flex linen, which is also called a travel journal. Has the rounded edges.
It's about half the size page-wise.
Yes.
And has, again, a wide variety of these rich jewel tones and pretty pastels.
Exactly. And this they consider more of their travel journal. They actually call it. And it also comes in A6s as well. Then on top of that, directly related to, or in size and in shape to the traditional linen are the jackies, which are
really just fun prints. This is their printed version, like the Olivia had the prints on the covers. And again, you have like the bright prints that like pop and they say like, look at me in like a really fun way. And then you get the subtle colors, a wide variety. Again, I don't think there's an ugly one. And I think something about them being handmade makes the notebook just feel special. Like
really
you can tell it's made well, you can tell there's something special about it. It's not just any old notebook.
Yeah, absolutely. And then probably so these are our higher end Bindewerks. So this one being the metal edged. It's black with just this nice metal on the edge, hence the metal edge. This is actually one that I've used as my own personal journal. If you are like me, kind of clumsy, and you need something really durable, this would be your journal. This very one was actually my previous personal notebook, and I have dropped this downstairs.
Shoved it in backpacks. It's taken a lot of abuse, and as you can see, it's still in pristine condition. So I highly recommend these if you are the clumsy type like myself. And then, of course, there's the Purest Woods, which originally got us interested in the brand.
these are just really classy notebooks. They come in lined and in blank pages in only 2 colors, so walnut and cherry. But these are, excellent conversation starters.
Yeah, they really stand out, and the blank make a really nice sketchbook. You can throw it in your backpack or your tote bag, wherever it is, and then whenever you have that moment to sketch or you feel like drawing something out, you know it's going to be there and everything's still going to be safe and tightly in there. Not going to have bent pages or bent covers.
Exactly.
Anything like that.
All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our semi-brief intro to Bindewerks here at HWE. We do continue to add to the product line. So, our recent edition of the Contemporary, which was about a week ago, and in the coming, I think, 2 weeks, we'll be adding a couple of other product lines as well, be it broadening our offerings of the flex linens.
So if you want to see inside any others, leave us a comment. We're always looking for new ideas of what to review or look at for you guys.
Yes, and as a quick note, we do have 2 of the products are in clearance, 2 of the Bindewerk products. So we do have the Jackie A4 and the as well as the Jackie notepads. Those have been discontinued here in the U.S., so we do have those on clearance. So visit our clearance section. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed your intro to Bindewerk. We know they're not, well known here in the U.S., but we're, trying to spread the word. So we look forward to seeing you again soon, and thank you, and see you next time.